All right, what's going on, party people? It's the fastest freaking show in MLB absolutely anywhere. With your boy. With your freaking boy, yo, Big Johnny Stud, coming to you worldwide. Brooklyn, New York, as always. Coming out that damn chair, as always. Follow me up on Twitter, at John Legaza Flow, sharper than a damn razor. Same handle over on Substack, where $2 a week gets you 5 pounds of shit in a 2 pound box. Now with NFL, I think I'm going to have to up the ante. It's like 7.3 pounds of shit in a 2 pound box. All the baseball stuff, of course, hot and heavy, never stops. Football ranks and stats, differentials, and best ball stuff is already up, uploadable 1, 2, 3, and you're off to the races. Saw some stats on how many people are drafting NFL without like ranks or programs, and I think, man, just that is going to get you a leg up. I made the final table in one of them on minimal entries, not last year, the one before. So just about kind of hitting the right guys, being in the right spot, and let's go on from there. Today we have a short MLB slate. I think we got 11 games, and we're split between early and late. We're going to focus on the nighttime stuff first for the commuter crowd, as always. Shout out my guy Jason up in the comments. How we doing? Speaking of which, doing really good this week. The latest combine looks like it's going to be a success, unless we completely crap the bed. And for a little perspective, you know, it was a little bit of a rough go, but never too bad. I find I never really get killed because of my conservative style, associating units to percentage of stack and then capping that on a daily basis. And there are road to ruin calculations that I think work really well here. And it just kind of keeps you in the game. And this 1 week has been enough to turn around all of the prior combines. So, you know, for the people who kind of doubt that process, I was glad to share it with you in real time. You don't have to come out of the, box guns blazing in an MLB season that's a damn marathon. When if you're playing for money, right, it's real money, you don't get to pretend. If you lose it, you have to win it back. Remember, my absolute favorite lesson, I can't believe I've let this one slip past me, or man, what's got to be a couple of years, and then we'll get into the games. And it's, no bet is better than a bad bet. And right, it's not just a catchy saying, we can actually quantify it. So if you start with $100 and you lose 10%, you're now down to 90. Let's say you go and win a bet that's then 10% of your stack. 10% of the 90 is only 99. So if you end up in a constant even exchange of percentages, you're actually going to wind up at 0. So for every 10% you lose, 10% of 100 being 90, you need 11% plus to get back. So the lesson here is, unless you really like a bet and think you're going to win, then the numbers are there. You shouldn't play it. Now, I get opening parameters to play with volume. In those cases, I think you should have the backing of a model like mine. So all that, and some when you roll with us, nuance and context pouring out the nose holes. Speaking of face holes, it's the best part of waking up. Pitching sheets in the mug would work better if they were the pitching sheets. There they are. There she blows. First up, it's the Jesus Lizard and the Fighting Phils, minus 110. Slight favorites on the road down in Fenway to face the Red Laundry and Power Ranger Suarez. We were all over that last Luzardo start. He got prolapsed in front of 35,000 screaming fans in Colorado, and we bashed them over the head with that plus 160 F5. That game ended up spinning out of control. Did the Rockies end up getting it done? I think they might have, but regardless, that's a testament to how bad the Rockies bullpen is, why we like some of these F5 money lines, why plus money is great, and, all that fucking jazz. That said, I was on the Source Network. Shout out those guys. Shout out Kyle and Toast. Our buddy Spoon. Man, yo, Spoon, you're a fucking sharp character, man. Spoon, man. Come together with your plan. So, yes, that Thursday slate doesn't work for me, brother. Where is it?
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Doesn't work for me, brother. So I was on with them last night, so I kind of got a little bit of a look. That's also why, if you've noticed and you check the Algo tab, there were already show picks up. Now, if I disagree with something or change my mind, I will flop it. But when I did my review this morning, everything kind of checked out. What we were talking about as far as Jesus Luzardo, who has that big blow-up risk, right? 6 ERA and a 1.4 whip to Sierra at 2.76, 24 KBB, 15 swinging strike, 32.5 CSW. This is all really, really good. The first strike rate has killed him because he's been, I don't want to say objectively the unluckiest, but it's got to be one of the unluckiest pitchers in the game today. We often talk about, right, 3 legs on the luck stool. Some people just automatically look at BABIP, and you really shouldn't do that. Again, nuance and context pouring at your fucking nose, right, when you roll with us. Survey says. It's not just BABIP. First of all, BABIP can be manipulated by the type of contact. I like to look at left on base, BABIP, and home to fly ball in combination to see what we can see. This is Jesus Luzardo. This is just insane. 59 left on base, 386 BABIP, and a 17 homer fly ball. Like, he's probably going to be just fine. So I think I'm on Luzardo for a bounce back spot. Flip it over to Boston v. Lefties. They've been pretty good, actually. Are we buying that? Oh, you know what? Not saying I got cold out, but that's why we like smart people, and I like when people buck me. It was 2 starts, though. It was Framber and Trevor Rogers. Then we kind of argued over whether those guys are good or not. I think overall, no one is really clamoring, making bull cases for the Boston offense. Last 7 days, 170 PAs. 4% walk, 53 ground ball, 3.5 barrels, 66 WRC plus. Now, Phillies have kind of gotten up off the mat. Oh, yes. But I still think what's the opposite of the upper hand? They have the lower hand? The Phillies have the lower hand. You can tell I was up streaming till fucking 2 a.m. I'm losing my damn mind. Suarez, awesome. Also, last thing on Luzardo, and I wanted to point out with the sheets, if there's anybody still on the fence about jumping in. All the pitcher prop per game stuff, really valuable, I think. And we made the move over from 2025 stuff at the back end to home and road, plus L30, right? To kind of add a little intra-season context. 2 things here. Jesus Luzardo's been fantastic on the road. Totally fantastic on the road. So I think he's going to be all right. I had a second thing that kind of got away from me. Oh, Suarez, I think it was with the Suarez last 30. That's what it was, because he struggled out of the box. 146 ERA, .65 whip last 30 days for Suarez. So I think it's offense and offense. I think we have 2 pretty good bullpens. You can see that I have them highlighted right here. Boston in particular has been really good as of late. Over to the algorithm. I had under 7.5. If that one is still hanging out there, I think that's where I'm at. Though, and this has really been a running theme all season, and I'm kind of sticking to it. Before you bet any kind of total, like legit, before you bet any total whatsoever, like any of them, you gotta shop these alt lines now. Okay, so one, it was always paramount to shop lines, right? Line shopping is critical, especially with totals. Because sometimes it's not just the price, it's the actual number that's different. Then you get the combination of the price plus the number. Because there are so many books offering the same bet, and it's not standardized, right? The prices are different. Sometimes you could shop around a price you're a little off of the book on to the book that's the furthest apart from you and end up snatching an alt line that's like kind of chef kissed. So I don't necessarily see that. I can't go shop that around right now, but it is worth taking a look because this game is under 7.5, minus 115. So there's a chance that there's an under 8, minus 122 out there. Seriously, minus 125 even, where that price for the run is certainly worth it. Always doing the math. Nuance and context, just kind of dripping out the nose a little bit. Jeff L., I see you. Tyler, what's going on? Hemi season, what's going on? Appreciate you all. Hemi says Boston gets it done. That was my backup play yesterday. I usually give a show pick on each game when I'm on Source Network. I noted that down. That was my other one. You could see I have Boston modeled for the win at the even money. So yeah, I'm wheels up on Boston also. You can give me that all day. But obviously, like, Luzardo is not bad, and I think you at least have to concede the Philadelphia offense is a little bit better than Boston. All right, next up. Ben Brown on the bump for the Baby Bears. Alliteration aside, Cubs plus 135 dog on the road down in the dirty to face Chris Barwin get one sale. Kind of kicking myself on this one. My take on this game. Oh, it's funny. You could see the show pick in the right-hand column said Braves full game minus 148. Couple lessons here. Number one, you got to bet early. Number two, if you're not going to bet early, do not look at the fucking last night's prices because you're not going to want to bet. All of the games that I liked, but was maybe a little iffy on the price and was going to sleep on it, they're all out of whack now. So Sale at minus 148 was even on the edge. Now we're at minus 163. I'm fucking out. I have to back it up. I think it's earlier on. Okay, just to mention it because it's on the front of my mind. I like Milwaukee Kyle Harrison. We'll talk about that in a second. That was minus 135. The boys disagreed. Thought it should have been minus 125. I thought we might wake up to minus 150. I didn't bet it. I'm kind of worried about that. And that's where it is right now. So you got to be early. Man, sometimes I think about posting. A lot of times because I do the pitching data has been out the night before. It just makes my life a little bit easier. I do have a V1 version of the model at night. I don't want to put it out and send people off on a wild goose chase, perhaps, knowing that it's fragile, it's soft, and there's a bunch of games that are going to change. But man, I am kind of thinking about it. You know, the F5 lines are not out and stuff. It's really imperfect. But, right? That big shaky ass. It's gonna be a couple games every day where we're really in front of prices. This is the point I was trying to make using the model to play on prediction markets. The problem there is the fees work on a fucking curve around the even. So like where we be looking to mange on the fucking CLV, it's not worth it. It's going to chip it away. The risk reward is not worth it. Maybe over time, if the fees come down or volume players maybe get rewarded, like if there are fee bonuses, like we could scale and make a shit ton of money. But as of right now, they kind of have their thumb on the fucking scale. So just so you know, always kind of working on this stuff. All right, let's look at Ben Brown. He's really good on a per inning basis. I don't think that's really a shock to anybody. The problem is the workload, projectable innings, if you're looking for it. He did get through 4 innings last time out, but I don't even think it was 50 pitches. Damn, just because I opened my mouth, let me just bring him up really quick. And you got to be careful with innings pitched. That's more of like a filter queen thing. You know, people who use whatever, their highest walk rate and like whatever. It's so stupid. This, when it comes to the disciplinary props, it's about projectable IP. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Brown, if you think you have a beat on it, then I think you're like on his overs. If you're worried like I am, I think maybe you're going to pump the brakes. Okay, I have it right here. So he got through 4 innings, but I mean, he was super efficient. It was only 46 pitches. It's going to be very hard to ask for that type of efficiency. Again, 4 innings pitched. He only faced 13 batters, man. He had no hits, a walk, and 3 Ks. Braves also can present an issue against righties. You know, they're a good offense, even without Acuna. Let me scroll on over. Braves highlighted versus righties last 14 days, 270 plate appearances. You know, top 5 in average, top 5 in slug, top 5 OPS with the ISO. The discipline's been a little wonky. They've been a little too aggressive for my liking. But if you're going to pull fly ball, line drives, and get double-digit barrels, with a plus 400 ex-Wobacon, the damage is there is... So, like, here's the issue, right? Brown with the high contact rate leading to inefficiency. which gets him bumped early, and then we get Javier Facade, right? This was kind of my angle here. The Cubs bullpen has been okay, not nearly as good as the Braves. So I was getting a little pushback, people liking the Cubs at the cost because of the offense. And I will concede the Cubs' offense versus lefties has been very good. You can see the last 30 days up on the board. They're like the offense or one of the offenses. If anybody is going to like supersede the quality of your offense, for me, it's Chris Sale, especially. And it's not to overweigh last 7 data. And again, I hope this is coming across, if people are looking at the video, this is coming across itself as an advertisement for the tools, right? As I'm talking through this stuff, I literally have the board up and forming more informed opinions, right? Adding layers to the argument before we pull the trigger. And I think that's what it's about. One, having a leg up in the information war. Everything is up and formatted for you. Like, why bother building this shit? I already did it. It's so fucking cheap. Don't be fucking stupid. You know what I mean? But the last 7 days are worth taking a look at, because a lot of times they can and are a leading indicator of a, leg down on the sine wave. Are the Cubs the greatest offense ever? Probably not. Last 216 PAs. They're batting 157, 522 OPS. Again, discipline is good, and I like walks and no chasing. I'm like the first person to quote that shit. However, but. Fucking big shaking butt. With your fucking big ass. With your fucking big ass. There is such a thing as being too passive. I'm pretty sure this is the only show that's like really constantly talking about passivity as a defining characteristic of an offense, even in small terms. Remember, disciplinary stuff, I think, is contagious, and it kind of stabilizes first. So the Cubs, despite taking walks, yeah, you're going to take fucking walks when you don't swing. 44 swing if you're not converting, 46 ground ball, 17 line drive, 250 WOBA. You're not moving the needle when the bat comes off the shoulder. So though the Cubs offense is not bad, I wasn't trying to shit on my guys. I'm not meant to be on panels with like 3 or more people because I fucking talk too much. You know what I mean? Like news flash. Anyway. Algorithm says. I've got the Braves are a pretty clean win, but the further the money line drifts towards them, the further away I'm getting. When I've got the model at a half a run, it's generally not enough for me to push for a run line, because the heavy favorite at home, the likelihood of getting the bottom of the ninth, right? Again, projectable playing time is only 38%. And it's like, how do I know that? Because it's the fucking money line. That's why I put the calculations up for you on the board, right? Not only are they there as a good benchmark, but once you start to read this stuff, right? The show is all about saving time, muscle memory, getting in the groove. It's every day, 15 games, no time to lose. Hit it, quit it, fucking wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I'm just not there with the offense again with no Acuna. I don't know. And I like Brown, and I like I don't know, 7 fucking trillion words or less. I gotta get myself to where, like, I'll bet minus 250 on an NFL game, but I won't bet minus 160 on a MLB game. And I think maybe that's like a flaw in my game. And like, do you really want to pair these Braves? Doesn't feel like that strong. There's been quite a bit of that lately. All right, next up. It's Chris Bubich and the Royals with cheese. They're on the road, minus 143 dogs on the wrong side of the tracks to face Anthony. Every kiss begins with K and the Pale Hose. Just not to bury the lead, let me go back to the algorithm page. This game is the one we're really far off of a low. Shame on me. It happens all the fucking time. I again saw the V1 version of the model last night. I was on the show and everything. This number was 8 last night, and I was like hemming and hawing and ranting and raving. 8 was entirely too low. It was entirely too low, and I took for granted that it wouldn't move to 8.5 now. Again, since I'm talking about this shit. These were the plays that I had originally intended to be bullish on in prediction markets. The problem is, so one, I had mentioned fees and how those are a barrier if you're looking to capture CLV. However, with totals, if you're in front of the total move, like I was mentioning before, not just the price, that inherently comes with a large jump on the baseline, which is cashable, right? It's a quantifiable CLV. This was the thing why I was so excited coming into the season. Like, we've had the forward facing model. We've been counting CLV. We are it, you know what I mean? But there's never been a way to turn actual CLV into profit. My hope was there would be enough of these that when we identified disparity, we'd be able to kind of jump on it and even cash out a couple of percentage points every day and scale up into the fucking millions. I mean, this is how that shit works. Problem was, there aren't enough of them, and now I find... So me not betting that 8 was a mistake, no matter how the fuck you put it. But I found in the places, right, during in the situations, I should say, where I took those bets early expecting line moves, I got them every time, Barry Horowitz. But I didn't want to cash them out for fucking 3% on the CLV. I wanted to bet them. Right? If you're a half run in front of a fucking market, an MLB market consistently, even if it's only sporadically, right? Because that's what it is. When we call it, it happens. It just doesn't happen often enough to choose the lesser CLV option over actually betting the damn thing. So that felt good for me to express this, because I talked a lot of shit about trying to make money in prediction markets, and I haven't really done it. And I don't want people to think like, I'm snake oil selling. I was very clear that I had to put a toe in the water and see if it was viable, see if it could be scaled, and I didn't have a grasp on the fucking fees and shit, or, again, how sharp the markets would be. Maybe towards the middle of the year, maybe something changes with that. Anyway, let's get back into this game. Now it looks like this bitch is at 8.5, though you can get the 8.5 minus 102, which means there are definitely 8 minus 115s or something like that. I would take that in a fucking second. The 8 in particular is such a popular iteration of MLB scores, right? There's a million ways to get there, and you want the push on the 8. So I'll give you, I'm not one for paying juice as a kind of a nefarious fucking cheapskate, but in those cases, I'll get to that. So Bubic, listen, is okay. He's not a bad pitcher. I think the problem here is the command and control. Plus, we've seen some degradation of the four-seamer. So if you're only going to throw in sub 92 on the velo scale, 97 stuff plus. Remember, velo is not the only thing when it comes to stuff plus. It does matter, but it's not the only thing. You can have good shape with extension and spin, locate. You can get results. Bubic is not doing that. And what's been the kind of effect of that has been more four-seamers, not fewer. So he's not getting ahead. He's not inducing chases. Double-digit walks with tons of fly balls that are getting pulled. So he's giving up tons of pulled fly balls. And then also, another good quick lesson. You're getting big-nosed fucking death here today, people. Not all fly balls are created equal. Again, leave that to the filter queen. Leave that to the fucking bowl cut guessing fucking crowd. Right? Leave that to the fucking buckets do nots. Right? That's that. You want low IQ, just completely like knuckle-dragging, scamming, grifting, mouth-breathing, scumbag, low IQ shit. There's the fucking door. That's not what this is. This is not madness, remember. This is not madness. This is Sparta! You're damn fucking right it is, okay? We are degenerates in the best fucking way, but you gotta keep your eye on the ball, back-testing things that work and why they work, what matters. It just sickens me to see some of the content out there completely misleading people. Like, I believe these creators mean well. They're just too stupid to fucking understand. Like, they mean well. They think they know what they're talking about, but I assure you they don't. There's no experience in professional risk ventures. These people have never bet professionally. They've never traded professionally. I mean, they don't have math backgrounds. It's just really be careful who you're listening to and why. You should leave a fucking stream learning something every fucking day, because the person you're listening to should be striving to learn and teach something every fucking damn day. This is what happens when I don't sleep. This is what happens when I don't fucking sleep. It just drives me crazy. All fly balls are not created equal. You hear this quoted all the fucking time. Fly ball guys, fly ball guys, fly ball guys. Now fine, Bubic is one of the people that falls into the bin of fly ball pitchers that you can attack based on that stat. But it's not because of that fucking stat. It drives me nuts, yo. He gives up fly balls without creating pop-ups, right? So the high fastball is a foundational piece of understanding the game. You need a good fastball with good movement and good location to work up in the zone in the major leagues right now. Hitters have taken on the Josh Donaldson Rainmaker fucking theory, which matters. You can walk all you want. You ain't getting the fucking 9-figure contract taking walks. You got to hit high cheese. You got to fucking lift it. You got to pull it. You got to get it out. See that little blue wall down there? You got to get the little white thing over the little blue thing. That's it. Right? Name of the game. And when you hear some of these hitters describe the game, it's funny how simple they'll be. You know, Donaldson, he's kind of a jerk, I guess, but I like jerks. I am a jerk. So, like, takes one to know one. But he knows his shit. So you got to be careful with these guys. Bubic is not that guy. I don't know. I don't even know who else. This has got to be the widest disparity in the league. 41 fly ball with a 2% infield fly. Again, so not all fly balls are created equal. Make sure that you're keeping an eye on Stuff Plus. So, because that's why I put 4-seam Stuff Plus. That is what matters. Right? When you see the high usage with the low velo, low stuff, high fly ball, low infield fly, that's why these